Lesson 4, Unit 2, the Project Management Office Functions. This unit will present the different functions of a PMO as it supports organizational project management. A primary function of a PMO is to support program and project managers in a variety of ways, which may include, but are not limited to, managing shared resources, developing standards and tools, coaching, mentoring, and training, developing policies and procedures, and monitoring compliance. Additional functions include managing information systems, coordinating communications, integrating project information, resolving issues and risk, facilitating change management, and monitoring performance and reporting. These functions are applied depending on the type of PMO. The first function is to manage shared resources. In this function, the PMO manages all shared resources across all programs and projects that are administered by the PMO. This is a function of a directive PMO where project managers and some project staff are assigned to different projects. This is useful when the organization is operating on a matrix structure and most of the project human resources are shared. The value of this function is to facilitate the prioritization of resource requirements amongst various projects with conflicting resource demands. Another important of a PMO is to identify and develop the project management methodology, best practices, standards, and tools that will be used across all projects. This reduces the risk of having multiple and sometimes conflicting methodologies in use across the organization. Standardization increases efficiencies and improves learning. As project staff moves from one project to another, they will find the same methods and processes. Part of this function is to continuously update the methodology to adapt it to changes in the context, best practices, and lessons learned from previous projects. In this function, the PMO is responsible for coaching, mentoring, and training project managers and project staff in the use of the project management methodologies, process, and tools developed by the PMO. In this function, the PMO develops the project management competencies that are necessary for a project manager to lead a project. This includes the creation of competency development plans and a project management career development track for the different levels of project work, from project coordinator to project director levels. When a new project manager is hired from outside the organization, the PMO will be responsible for ensuring the new staff is proficient in the use of the methodology and will coach the new project manager during their first assignment. In this function, the PMO develops the governance framework that will be used by all programs and projects. This includes the development of policies and procedures. The governance framework defines the process for making decisions at the project and the program level. The focus of this function is to monitor the fulfillment of key policies and ensure that all projects and programs are in compliance. For example, the compliance with quality standards. This is a function typical of a controlling PMO whose goal is to reduce risks, especially in complex projects. PMOs use information systems to capture, analyze, and report on project performance. The PMO also defines the standards and information management tools that all projects will use to manage information. These can range from desktop systems to integrated systems using an internal network or via the internet. Another critical function of a PMO is to coordinate communications across projects and programs, which leads to quicker and better decision making. The PMO communicates progress, disseminates lessons learned, updates on changes in policies and procedures, and coordinates the development of project reports. The PMO creates the overall communication standards for projects to follow. The PMO will also assist the program and project managers in developing the necessary communications with key stakeholders. In this function, the PMO collects, organizes, and integrates project data for the entire organization. This includes project documents and project reports. Integration is part of the centralization of all project information in a secure and accessible location. This is useful for storing data for future use, such as audits and evaluations. A PMO provides support to projects and programs in tracking risk and issues. The PMO facilitates the timely resolution of issues due to conflicting priorities with shared resources, interdependencies amongst projects and programs. The PMO identifies, analyzes, and plans risk responses at the organizational level. The PMO can function as a change control board for program and projects by providing support to administer the change management control process, authorizing changes, and escalating the approval of critical changes to the organization's executive team. The PMO also provides services that include monitoring the performance of projects and reporting, especially when the function of portfolio management is incorporated in the PMO. The PMO provides support in the development and dissemination of status reports by consolidating performance information and reports from all programs and projects. The centralization of reports helps senior management make decisions and prioritize their support to projects and problems. The PMO might sit at different levels in the organization and performs a variety of functions to support projects, programs, or the entire organization. The functions that a PMO will perform depend on the type of PMO, their level of control, and their level of maturity. In most cases, the PMO helps standardize the use of a common methodology across the organization, like a common language that helps communicate, integrate, and obtain efficiencies of scale and minimize redundancies and risks.